I'm back. I'm back in the saddle again. Good song by Aerosmith, and yes, as some of you may know or may have forgotten, my name is Chris Strickland, and I'm welcoming you back to a long overdue episode of The Alone Zone. 7 days out from Christmas. Everybody knows who's followed me and watched my videos around this time of year adds depression and stuff, and I'm not going to get into that in this video. I just want to make a video. It's been long enough, and I owe it to all the loyal subscribers who have stuck around, and I'm actually shocked. I would have thought I would have lost subscribers. I actually gained about 30 subscribers in the 3 months that I've been gone. Now, the reasons why, and I really wanted to come onto this video at first, and I was really gonna hammer in I was really probably gonna upset some people. I was really gonna hammer into the real reason why I left for as long as I did, because it was only intended to be about a month, but it ended up being kind of like a test. But I'm not getting into that. I made a video, and it's on this camera here, and I may upload it, but I'm not going to upload it yet, and it may never. I'll make it clear in that video. I get a little angry and I get a little upset. So if some of you out there want to hear the real raw emotional feelings, how I feel about some things, and why I was gone as long as I have, and some of the things that I felt inside, well, I'll upload it. But I don't want to. I really, I'm all about truth and honesty, and that's one thing I've always prided myself on with this channel. You get the real raw emotion from me, and that's all you're ever gonna get. So, but at the end of the day, some things are better left unsaid. But that video was in the bank. But anyways, you know what? Let's forget that, and let's just say that sometimes you set yourself up for failure, and I've done that more often than not in my life. And sometimes you find yourself into a situation where you think that something is what it really isn't, and it turns out to be not what you expected, or it turns out to be that you thought more of what it was than it actually truly was. And so I kind of set myself up for it. So in a way, it's how I feel inside, and why I've kind of been gone for so long, and their fault to me as well. So anyways, if some of you really want to hear the truth and how I feel, I'll upload it. But for now, I kind of just want to come back and get back at it. So I'm coming to you from dreary, cloudy Pensacola, Florida, always, and I am in the graveyard, and that's where I hang out. And I come here because I don't know, it may sound weird, but the graveyard is just I don't know, it's a place that reminds you of your life and where the end result is. You're either going to end up buried 6 feet under, you're going to be cremated and put on a mantle someplace, or your ashes will be scattered out to sea. But I don't know, I've got 2 relatives buried here, and I come to visit them from time to time, and I don't know, it's just a reflection. I sometimes walk around in here, and there's a lot of old graves. This graveyard's been here for a while. I think the oldest grave is from the 1700s. And I just see a variety. I see mother, fathers buried next to each other. I see husband and wife. And the thing that saddens me the most, sorry, hang on. Yeah, and I'm still drinking these Kickstarters. Right, so could do the chopper. The chopper is out of the way. But yeah, and sometimes I walk around and I see little babies. They only live for a couple days, or maybe not even a year. And you see the little small grave, and it's like, oh. So it gets me to thinking, and I really have been thinking about it lately. There was a time when I was 16 years old. My uncle Steve, he was a good man. He drank a lot. He was a good man. He was an electrician. He was gonna teach me. Back then, I was suicidal, big time. And I remember a time when he kind of came over and kind of prevented me from possibly doing it. I was really adamant. This was the second time I was trying it. The first time it failed, and anyways, I remember me and him got into a physical fight. Now this guy, he was a small guy. You know, he was about 5'8", 160 pounds. I was a big kid. You know, about the same size I am now, actually. And so he prevented me, and it got me to thinking back then. About 6 months after that, well, a couple months after that, actually, he was diagnosed with cirrhosis of the liver and lung cancer. And 4 months after that, he was gone. And I remember going to the funeral, and the only time I've ever seen a body in a casket. He was lifeless. He was cold to the touch. And it would say, you know, we weren't that close, but he was kind of like, you know, go back, watch my videos where I talk about my grandfather. My grandfather also was an alcoholic, and eventually he had to leave. My grandmother had to kick him out. She couldn't handle it no more. And when I really needed a father figure the most was the teenage years. And so I kind of had my uncle there, but, you know, we weren't that close, but, you know, he was kind of there. But I could see that he was going to teach me to be an electrician, so there was potential for the relationship to really further and become closer. And then he died. So, and I haven't had a father figure in my life since. I'm not the only guy. But anyways, what had happened at the time, and maybe it was a blessing in disguise, because after he had died, I wasn't suicidal again until my early 20s. Suicide left me. I was like, wait a minute, no. I couldn't fathom having my aunt, who was still alive at the time, and my grandmother see me dead in a casket like that. So his passing in '98, this was, kind of kept me off that for a little while, because I was really heavily suicidal at the time. Anyways, let's get to now. I'm not gonna sit here and lie and say, hey, I don't think about death, because I do. And sometimes, yeah, I think, hey, I'd be better off dead. But as far as suicide goes, I don't think I'll ever be suicidal again. And I know this is strange, because not that long ago I was really heavily in suicidal mode, and some people were kind of worried about me. But I've been reflecting, and even though I'm miserable and depressed and what have you, at the end of the day, I just don't. No, it's strange. Death is like, life is so short, you know. And even though I'm miserable, I think about it. And I guess what I'm trying to say is, I guess I'd rather continue to be miserable and live longer than die young, because I guess there's still, if I'm still alive, I guess there's still time and possible for me to knock this into the ground a little bit and make some real life friends and maybe find love, which is my ultimate goal, because that's what I want to experience. You know, I want to experience love. You know, I want my dream to come true. So for the moment, and when I come into the graveyard though, and I see the people, and you know, they had lives, and I don't know how they died, but it just gets me into the thinking, you know what, I'm not ready to be in a place like this yet. As sad and lonely and miserable every day seems to be, and like I mentioned, I can't say that 100% don't feel like I'd rather be dead, but I don't think suicide is an option for me. Will that change down the road? Who knows? But at this time, you know what? I guess I want to live with a little bit of hope that something better is going to happen to me before it is my time. But I don't know. So, you know, I know it's weird, but, you know, coming to the graveyard, it's really peaceful for me. It's just like, it's huge, and I can walk around and get a little exercise in, and, you know, I can just, I don't know, I know it's weird. I'm more on the darker side of life, I suppose. I'm not like gothic or anything like that, you know, but gothics are cool, by the way. Black is my second favorite color. But anyways, you know, I don't know. I don't find the graveyard creepy. I think, you know what, this is where people, this is their final home. Everyone in this graveyard, their neighbors, wherever they are in the spiritual world, they hang out. From time to time they may drift away, but this is where they live. This is their final resting place. This is a neighborhood to me, and this is how I see it. And do I believe in the super, like, natural and, you know, all that stuff, ghosts and stuff? I believe in a spiritual world. I believe there is a chance ghosts exist, but I think all these people that are in here, you know, they're somewhere hanging out, and, you know, I don't know. So, anyways, that's that part of it. Now, I want to talk about someone who I've known about for a while. He made a video recently, Zach Mason. Just wanted to touch on it real quick. He hit the nail on the coffin. People with social anxiety are smarter. He's right, because we have so much time, you know, on our hands. You know, we aren't hanging out doing things, so we have so much time on our hands that we have nothing but time to soak up knowledge and to find hobbies and to get into things. And me, my thing is, I'm very, you know, up to date with the world, current events, what's going on in society. I make it a plus to read the news, to check in, just to, you know, just to keep up with what's going on. And I'm also fascinated. One of my hobbies is weather. I love weather. I've always been fascinated with weather, so, you know, I'm always into, you know, looking up how, you know, weather is going around the country, especially this time of year in the winter. We've got some really strange weather around the country. You know, it's flooding out in California where it doesn't rain that often, and, you know, there's these super typhoons hitting over in the Philippines and Japan and stuff. It's like, so for me, you know, he is so right. You know, it's like, if all of us with social anxiety and issues like that could just put our minds together, maybe we could come up with a way to beat this shit for good without having to force feed a bunch of pills down or continue going to therapists and talking for an hour, you know, and getting nowhere. You know, for me, I've been in and out of therapy since I was 12 years old. Well, 14 years old. I mean, I started feeling the depression and knowing the anxiety when I was 12, but I went into therapy at 14. And anyways, been on and off, you know, pills, stuff like, I mean, come on, man. Every time I go to a therapy session, it's like I spill out what's been going on, and he feeds me back some of the same shit. But the reason I keep going, I guess I have some kind of false hope. I don't know, but if we could all just you know, we're so, like, smart and so adept, and very observant. At least with me, I find that I'm very keen on my surroundings. I'm very wary of what goes on, and I observe, you know, I make sure, you know, I like to check things out real good before I enter a situation. So we could just use our minds and unlock, like, come together and unlock the mystery of this, you know, why we have such a hard, I know some people do better themselves, and for some people pills work and the therapy works, but I'm a prime example of, no, it never worked. And I don't know. We're very intellectual people, and that's the way I see it, and that's the way he sees it, and he hit it, you know, right on the head. So I just had to bring that up in my first video back, you know, to let you know, hey, I still watch you guys, you know. That's what I do. I watch on YouTube. There's also another guy out there I follow, Root Times. He's very like nice to listen to. I like what he says. You know, he seems to be, you know, in the same boat as a lot of us. So we all just, you know, we could just put our intellectual minds together. Maybe we could just, because to me this is a disease. There's something in our brains that is preventing us from communicating, you know, in large groups and you know, being, you know, comfortable in day-to-day life. And like with any disease, AIDS, cancer, there's no cure for those. There is medicines that aid, but there really is no 100% cure for those. But there are a lot of diseases where there are cures, and I believe this is a disease of the brain. And whatever it is in there is just not, something's not firing. And I believe, you know, these researchers and everything spend all this time, you know, and they need to, you know, on AIDS and cancer, and here Ebola's coming up, but mental illness, and you see it every day with these people going on rampages and shooting and all this stuff, and these school shootings and stuff. And I believe continue to research in diseases, but more needs to be done about mental illness. We need more research. We need, you know, because back in the old days you were just funny, and that was that. You were just funny. But now it's getting more serious. You got kids committing suicide. You've got, you know, the rampages. You've got innocent people dying for no reason, and you've got people who go about life and never enjoy it or never live it, and can never get it together. You know, could be like all of us social anxiety people who are so knowledgeable and intellectual and stuff. We have so much we can offer this world, but something in there is preventing us from doing it. So do the research, find the cure, or find something that is better than the options that are offered to us, and we could be very, very beneficial to society, but something is stopping us. And it just really bugs me, because I know there's so much that I could offer this world. I'm a very well-spoken guy, as I've been told. Like I said, I keep up to date with things. I try to be knowledgeable as I can. If something fascinates me, I you know, look into it as much as possible. I research. I'm good with computers, you know. I'm just good with a lot of things in general, and it's like I'm not able to express it. I'm not able to put it to use, because anxiety, you know, I'm not good in groups. I'm not good in social settings because I'm not used to it. I have no friends, you know. I'm just, you know, I'm just not, I've never been comfortable. It's like I've got all this stuff up here that's limiting me, and you know, it's like that for a lot of people. You know, we could offer the world so much more, but there's a wall stopping us, and you know, just more needs to be done, basically. And it's always bugged me, and it'll always bug me, I guess, until the day I see something different, something better. And more needs to be focused, especially in the United States of America, because apparently with this Obamacare thing, they put something in there that was going to focus more on mental health. I don't see it. I think it was all just talk, because at the time Obamacare was coming out, there were a couple of major tragedies, so they were making it a point, but I just don't see it. So, and again, you know, there's this whole world out there, and like for me personally, one of the things limits me. There's so much I want to do, and there's so much I believe I can offer this world. But it's not just anxiety, not just the depression, not just the fears and the oppressed, you know, memories, and just not being able to get over things, but happiness. You can't function in life unless you have some sense of happiness. I'm not saying happy all the time. Obviously nobody is, and if you are, well, you're just amazing. You're lucky. But the root of it, you have to have some happiness. And I cannot remember the last time I was truly happy, other than when I was like a really young child, I guess. You know, 12, the years from 12 backwards. If I could just have a little bit of happiness in my daily life. And yeah, I'm not gonna, I may watch an old show or something from my childhood, or see something, but that's just a brief. Well, I'm talking about a period of happiness each day, even if it wasn't sustained, but just a good long, like, couple hour period of happiness each day would be so beneficial, and it could lead to more. For me, I would love to travel the world. I would love to go to different countries, see different cultures, see how people live, see how their country operates, and just, soak in the knowledge of the world from a first-hand perspective. But I can't even begin to even think about doing things like that because I don't have money. I don't have the ability to put myself in a situation where I can better myself to be able to do that. And it goes back to, like, I could offer the world so much, but something is stopping me. And we could all offer the world so much, but it's just not happening. And it's, for me anyways, the happiness. If I'm not happy, I can't. It's weird to explain. It's just like, if you're not happy, you can't enjoy what you're doing. And so, yeah, I could try to do things. Just like, okay, root times, like work. He was bringing up work in one of his videos the other day. He knows that if he was to get a job or not, it wouldn't last long because he's not happy. There are things that bother him, and he knows when he goes there, it's just not going to be a good situation. That's how it is for me. If I were to somehow, some way be able to get a job, I wouldn't be able to keep it for long because, there would be times when I won't want to get up because I'm too depressed. Something's bothering me. Or if I get there, I won't, be able to put on a smile because I'm not happy. I won't be able to communicate with the other coworkers, properly like you're supposed to. And, so it's just like, how am I supposed to move forward in life if I can't, function? So, anyways, all back down to the root of things is there has to be something more that can be done because I believe there are so many great people in this world and in this social anxiety community on YouTube that could do a lot for this world. So maybe one day. But anyways, my first video back, it's about 25 minutes. So hopefully, you'll see me again. And I might upload that video I recorded. But at the end of the day, you know what? I don't want to ruffle any feathers. I don't want to upset anyone, because as I think about it, I'm to blame in there as well. So anyways, yeah, that's it. And that's all. A good little conversation for you guys on my first video back. And until next time, as always, thank you for entering my alone zone. I was your host, Chris. And until next time, peace.